Oh, hi everyone. Hope you're all well. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming back to Warren's Team Talk, and I hope you're having a great day wherever you are. And what I'm doing now is I want to preview Arsenal's upcoming match with Crystal Palace, which is taking place tomorrow evening at the Emirates Stadium. For the FA Premier League clash, so that should be interesting, hopefully. And without further ado, I just want to ask you, before we do anything else, as I always do, make sure that if you haven't done it already, that you subscribe to my channel, and also that you put a like on the video, and also that you pass it around to as many people as you possibly can, so they can help me to grow my channel. That would be really helpful if you could do that for me. Thank you so much. But more importantly than any of that, like I say, I hope that you're all well and you're having a really, really great day. So that's the most important thing. So anyway, now that's all over and done with, let's get on with it. So yeah, like I say, tomorrow night, Arsenal take on Crystal Palace at the Emirates Stadium. And we're going to be facing Patrick Vieira, one of Arsenal's greatest all-time players and legend of the club. He's coming back with his Crystal Palace team. Hopefully not to inflict more misery on us, but we'll see. And we've got a chat here from Tony Blackwell. Afternoon, Tony. And he says, "Good afternoon, Warren. I'm working, unfortunately, but at least the West Ham won, so makes the day pass. Hope you're good, mate." Yeah, I'm good, thanks, mate. And congratulations on your win at Everton. I dare say that you must be absolutely delighted with that. That's a really good result for you, I think. Yeah, I was a bit surprised. I wasn't sure whether you'd get a win up there, but that's a great win, and you must be buzzing for it, mate. I'm not sure that our friend will be too pleased with it when he sees it. God bless him, but never mind, we'll see. Yeah, so David Moyes did one on Rafford, so there you go. Anyway, so let's move on. So let's have a look at, first of all, at the head-to-head record between the two clubs. Arsenal have won 29 games. Palace have won 5, and there's been 15 draws. So Tony says it was a hard game. James was there, so we will see, mate. Yeah, poor James Dunlop I'm talking about. I hope he's all right, and he's probably really wound up by that result, mate, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm sure that Terry is going to be he's going to probably point and say, "Yeah, well, I told you that Rafa wasn't any good." So, but he won't be able to say that about Moisey, will he? That's for sure. So here you go. Let's move on. And so far this season, Crystal Palace are sitting in 14th place in the Premier League. They've only won 1 game all season. They've drawn 4 and lost 2. They've scored 8 goals and conceded 11 and got 7 points. And their last 5 Premier League games have seen them get beaten quite heavily at Liverpool by 3-0. They drew 2 with West Ham. I'm sure you remember that one, Tony. They got thumped as well, 3-0 by Chelsea. And then at the end of last season, they lost 2-0 at Liverpool and 3-1 at Southampton. So on the road, it's not been going particularly well for them. They haven't won away in the Premier League since last season. So yeah, there's some hope there for the Gunners, I think. Yeah, because they don't look like they travel too well. Well, not at the moment. Mind you, they've had some hard games. They've played Liverpool, West Ham, and Chelsea. And to be honest, I don't think I'd back Arsenal to get anything out of those 3 games. So let's see. Let's see what Arsenal's form has been like of late. And Arsenal's so far at the moment are sitting in 11th. After a disastrous start to the season, they've picked up somewhat in the last 4 games. And in total, they've won 3, drawn 1, and lost 3 of their 3 league games. But they've only scored 5 goals in those 7 games, which is a bit of a worry for me, really. And they've conceded 10 and picked up 10 points. And in their last 5 Premier League home games, they've beaten Tottenham 3-1 in the North London derby, which Terry hosted a street party for afterwards to celebrate. And he also had an open top bus tour around Islington, as far as I know, parading the trophy with his boyfriend, Mikel. And then they defeated Norwich 1-0 in the Premier League. And then before that, they lost 2-0 at home to Chelsea in a game which, to be frank, they got absolutely battered with. They started the game well enough, but then Chelsea just took control and won quite comfortably. And then at the end of last season, they won 2-0 at home to Brighton and 3-1 against West Bromwich Albion. Tony's coming with a couple of other chats. He's saying, I was at that 3-3 game. We were shocking and lucky to come away with a point. Wow. Sounds like it was an exciting game, though, mate. 3-3. But yeah, I don't know. They just seem to me that I've seen them a couple of times, and I think Patrick Vieira is like getting them playing quite well, but I think they've had some hard games since he's been in charge. So they've had quite a tough start to the season. So should be a more fair indication to see how they're doing when they come to the Emirates, I think. And then Tony said street party and open bus tour. Love it. Yeah, no, I wouldn't be at all surprised if he did all of that, mate. I really wouldn't. Gallagher will cause you trouble tomorrow. I bet he will score against Arsenal. I think they're definitely going to score. Definitely going to score. And that's a worry for me because I think we've got major issues at the top end of the pitch. And I can see them getting at least one, definitely. Then let's move on. So the latest team news is obviously there's not much really from Arsenal. Other than that, Granit Xhaka is still obviously out. He's going to be out for at least 3 months after picking up an injury against Tottenham. Otherwise, they seem to have a fully fit squad to choose from, unless any of the players come back from the international break having picked up injuries. But I don't think they have. I haven't heard anything anyway. And I haven't been able to find out anything. But for Palace, Nathan Ferguson is out with a shin injury. And there's no return as of yet as when he's going to come back. And Eberechi Eze is suffering from a lower leg problem. And he says, the news I saw, that he's going to be ruled out long term. But I also heard a rumour somewhere saying that he might make a quick return. So I'm not sure. So after winning the FA Premier League Manager of the Month award for September, Mikel Arteta will be looking to turn around Arsenal's recent poor form against Crystal Palace and the Emirates Stadium, because in recent Premier League clashes at the Emirates Stadium, Palace have tended to have the upper hand In fact, Arsenal haven't beaten Palace at the Emirates Stadium since January 2018 when they won by 4-1. And then since then, on the 21st of April 2019, Arsenal lost 3-2, and the game which infamously cost Arsenal a Champions League spot because Unai Emery decided to play a weakened side so that he could focus on the Europa League final against Chelsea. And those plans sort of come unstuck for him because they ended up losing the game by 3-2. And then in October 2019, they drew 2-2 at home in the Premier League. And then most recently in January of this year, in last season, they drew 0-0 at home in the Premier League. So, yeah, it's the recent run of form against Crystal Palace for Arsenal is not great. So hopefully Mikel Arteta will be able to turn that around, really. However, I'm not confident. So if we have a look at how Palace lined up in their last game, which was against Leicester City at home in the Premier League, they lined... hold on, sorry. They lined up like this. They lined up in a 4-3-3 formation, and they had Guaita in goal. They had Ward at right back, Anderson and Guahehi, is that it, at centre back, and Mitchell at left back, and then Gallagher, Mihalovic in midfield, and MacArthur in midfield. And then up front, they had Ayew and Edouard and Zaha up front. Now, the three of them are a right handful, and there's plenty of goals in them. And I think that either Edouard or any one of them is likely to get on the score sheet. And also, they've got goals coming from midfield as well. So Arsenal are going to have to be on their game if they want to get anything out of this match. That's my opinion about it. Now, if we look at the match stats as well for that game against Leicester, Palace enjoyed 60% possession, and they had 18 shots on goal, and 4 of those were on target, and they got 2 goals out of them. However, they did concede 9 shots on goal, and Leicester got 5 efforts on target. And again, they scored 2 as well. And the corners, Palace got 1 and Leicester got 3. And the foul count was 15-11 in favour of Palace. So, Arsenal really need to make sure that they don't start firing the shots in on goal, because if they do and they get them on target, and they seem to have quite a good statistical shot conversion rate, and then it's nearly a quarter of all their shots go on target. And if we consider that we conceded over 20 shots against Brighton, if we go into the game and we concede that many against Palace, we're going to be in big trouble. That's for sure. So my lineup for this match against Palace, if I was in charge, I'd play Ramsdale in goal. And left back, I'd have Kieran Tierney, Gabriel and Ben White, and Tomiyasu at right back. However, White would be on his final warning after those ridiculous comments the other day about Patrick Vieira. And his performances need to make a marked improvement as far as I'm concerned. But if I was the manager, he'd be transfer listed after what he said the other day. I just thought it was absolutely ridiculous and showed a complete arrogance, and it showed to me as well he's really not interested about developing his career. So, and to be honest with you, I'm not really sure that I want someone playing for Arsenal who's not interested in improving, and I don't think he is. I think he thinks that he's the bee's knees already, well, I've got news for you, mate. You're not. And you need to improve big time. But anyway, so let's go on to the midfield. So in midfield, I'd have Lokonga, Maitland-Niles and Thomas Partey, because I think what scared me about that game at Brighton more than anything was the fact how we couldn't control the midfield and how Brighton overran us in midfield and dominated possession. And I think it was because we didn't have a recognised holding midfield player. And I think Ainsley can do that role. And I think he can help the other two gain control of the midfield, because if we get overrun in midfield against Palace, like I say, we're going to be in big trouble, because they're not going to miss the opportunities that we gave Palace. I'm confident of that. And then up front, I'm going for Saka on the left, Aubameyang up front in through the middle, and Pepe on the right. And Tony has come in with a chat, and he's saying, I'm sure the fans can have a whip round and buy Wenwhite a TV license and a DVD player, laugh out loud. Yeah, I'm sure they could, mate. But the problem is, apparently he's too busy to watch it. Unbelievable. It's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous how that fella hasn't been disciplined. Well, he may have been disciplined by Arsenal, but you know, it's just crazy. You got players telling fans to F off and throwing the shirt on the ground and the armband on the ground. You got another one saying he's not going to respond to people unless they call him Benjamin, and he also saying that he is not interested in developing his career. It's just ridiculous. The club's a joke, man. And then, yeah, so I think my predicted result for this game is I think Palace will win by 1-0, mainly because I don't think that Mikel Arteta will line up the way that I've said. I think he's going to go with a 4-2-3-1. I think he's going to leave us lightweight in midfield, and I think he's not going to do what's required to control the game from midfield. I think we're going to get overrun in midfield, which will mean that we won't be able to supply the strikers, and we're going to put immense pressure on our defence. Palace will have countless opportunities to score, and I think they will win the game by 1-0, like I say. Sorry about this, guys. Yeah. So, yeah, I think Palace will win the game by 1-0, because I think the same thing is going to happen against Palace as it did against Brighton. We're going to get overrun in midfield, and they will get countless opportunities to score, and they're going to take at least one of them. And I wouldn't be surprised if you don't concede more than one, to be honest. People will say I'm being negative, I'm sure, but that's just my opinion, and that's why the way I see it. Because that game against Brighton, that absolutely terrified me, because I thought we were really poor in the midfield. You know, people can say we battered well to get a 0-0 draw, but Brighton, they just don't seem to be able to finish their dinner. And that was shown yesterday in the game that they had with Norwich, like they couldn't finish. And they were lucky, and Norwich created far more in that game than what we did. And Norwich could have easily have won that game if that lad who went round the keeper and prodded the ball home, if he'd hit that harder, it would have gone in, definitely. And to be honest, I agree with Alan Shearer. I'm surprised the ball got as far as it did. It didn't look like it was going to reach the net, even if there wasn't someone there to clear it from Brighton. And Tony says he won't be disciplined, Warren. It's Arteta, remember. Yeah, he won't be, because he likes him. That's the thing. Anyone he likes, he lets them get away with murder. People he doesn't like Guendouzi and Pepe, he throws the book at them. Yeah, so that's what I mean about his man management. It's all over the shop and it's not consistent. So it's a major issue for me, really. And then, so yeah, just let's give a quick shout out to some other YouTubers. The Old School Gunner. I did a collaboration with him yesterday. And we're going to be doing this every week. This Saturday coming, it's going to be on my channel. And what we do is we take you through all the games, the 3 o'clock kickoffs on a Saturday. It was great fun. We really enjoyed it. And we just kept you up to date with what was going on in all the games. It's a bit like what Sky Sports used to do when they had Charlie Nicholas and Matt Letitia and Phil Thompson all in the studio, all watching a game and updating what's going on. And I think B2 Sport do something similar as well. So we thought we'd give it a crack as well. And it was great. It worked really well. We really enjoyed it. And I hope that everyone who watched it did as well. It was great fun. So we'll be doing that on Saturday on my channel. I'm not sure what time we're going to start. Probably about 10-15 minutes before the games kick off. But yeah, so that was great. And then there's the 3 Pointers channel. They're a great group of guys. There's 3 of them. They do excellent Arsenal content, and they do watch-alongs and stuff like that. So yeah, they're really good. There's Arsenal Alex. I absolutely love this guy. He's on the ball. He says it how it is, and yeah, does great content. I really like his work. And then obviously, last but not least, there's the one and the only, the Claude and the Bansta's channel. If you want to see 2 fellas getting stuck into each other and having a massive tear up, then that's the channel for you. They're absolutely superb and great stuff, great channel. And I love both of them, Terry and Diesel. Great work, and I love your channel, guys, and I really miss it. And I know that you're really busy at the moment, but please come back soon and do a stream for us. We miss you, mate. We miss you guys. We really do. Tony's coming with another chat, and he's saying, "Get them on, Warren. They're all out of a job." Laugh out. Yeah, man. I'm doing my best to keep people busy, mate. I really am. So yeah, we'll see what happens. And I think that's the end of it. Yeah, that's the end of my preview. I hope that you all enjoyed it. For those of you watching on playback, and please put in the comments what you think's going to happen tomorrow night at the Arsenal Palace game. Whether you think Arsenal will win, how do you think the game will play out? Put in your score predictions, things like that. I'm going to try and do a reaction video for the lineup tomorrow night. So keep your eyes open for that. But other than that, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching the video. And please remember to take care of yourselves and also to share some love and friendship around the world at the moment. And yeah, thanks very much. And it was great talking to you all. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, so that's the end. And that's the end of my show. And like I say, I hope you all really enjoyed it.